But I gotta say, and I'm friendly with the ladies on The View, but they didn't say anything about this week. Nothing. You know, because it's never been their thing to weigh in on the issues.
Did y'all really think we weren't going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel? I mean, have you watched the show over the last 29 seasons? So you know, no one silences us.
It looks like Hollywood drama never stops, and this time, it's Whoopi Goldberg caught in the middle of Bill Maher's sharp and hilarious takedown. When you mix late-night hosts, outspoken celebrities, and some brutal honesty, sparks are guaranteed to fly. And that's exactly what happened when Bill Maher decided to call out Whoopi Goldberg over her defense of Jimmy Kimmel.
I'm friendly with the ladies on The View, but they didn't say anything about this week. Nothing. You know, because it's never been their thing to weigh in on the issues. You know, it's just an upbeat party show. That's why they hired people named Joy and Sonny and Whoopi. But, you know, girls, let me go out strong, okay? It won't you. I promise. It's happened to me, and I may go out after this show. We don't know.
So let's break it down. Recently, Jimmy Kimmel has been under fire for his controversial jokes, past behavior, and the way he handles political conversations on his late-night show. Some fans think Kimmel has lost his touch, turning more into a political commentator than an entertainer. Others believe he still represents the edgy comedy that late-night television needs.
Y'all really think we weren't going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel? I mean, have you watched the show over the last 29 seasons? So you know, no one silences us. And to all my friends in Italy who reached out, you have to know it's okay. We're still here. We're still broadcasting. And when the news broke last week about Jimmy Kimmel's suspension, we took a breath to see if Jimmy was going to say anything about it first. We did the same thing with Stephen Colbert.
Whoopi Goldberg, never one to stay quiet, jumped in to defend Kimmel. On The View, she passionately argued that comedians like Kimmel should be protected, reminding the audience that comedy is supposed to push boundaries. Whoopi insisted that critics were being too sensitive and unfair, pointing out that every comedian has made jokes that don't age well.
Then our show was on tape on Friday. But we are live here today. And we're getting into it now. You cannot like a show. Now, I want to make sure I got this right. To be clear, you cannot like a show and it can go off the air. Someone can say something they shouldn't and get taken off the air, but the government cannot apply pressure to force someone to be silent.
But here's where Bill Maher stepped in, and things got spicy. On his show Real Time with Bill Maher, Maher brought up Whoopi's comments, and instead of siding with her, he completely flipped the script. With his usual sarcastic tone, Maher said, "So, apparently, Whoopi Goldberg thinks Jimmy Kimmel is some kind of comedy martyr now? Please. The guy isn't Lenny Bruce. He's barely even Jay Leno. And yet, here we are pretending he's a victim."
The FCC says they're going to go after maybe next The View. They got a new show lined up. It's going to be great. It's called Morning Wood with James Wood.
The audience burst out laughing, and Maher wasn't done. He continued, "I like Jimmy. He's a nice guy. But let's not act like he's being silenced. He has one of the biggest platforms in late-night television. If that's what oppression looks like, then sign me up." What really made the moment sting was Maher's ability to mix humor with truth. While Whoopi framed Kimmel as a brave voice in comedy, Maher reminded everyone that late-night hosts aren't exactly struggling to be heard. In fact, Maher argued, many of them are part of the cultural elite who push one-sided narratives night after night.
You know, Jimmy, look, I don't think what he said was exactly right. We don't agree on that. He didn't lose his job for it. He said the MAGA crowd was trying to characterize the assassin as anything but one of them, because the 22-year-old kid in jail, his family was MAGA. As if a 22-year-old with a trans girlfriend never rebelled against their family.
Maher then playfully mocked Whoopi's defense, joking, "Imagine Whoopi Goldberg standing in front of the Supreme Court, shouting, 'Protect Jimmy Kimmel at all cost.' That's the hill we're dying on. Out of all the comedians in the world, it's Jimmy Kimmel who needs saving." Really, the audience erupted in laughter again, and social media quickly lit up. Clips of Maher's segment spread across X, Instagram, and YouTube, with people debating whether he was being too harsh or if he was just saying what everyone else was thinking.